Jumble Lane. I've been sort of neglecting, well I say not neglecting, but I've been not doing much on the layout in the past months. But as 2020 starts, I shall be doing quite a bit more, and I'm going to start this year by looking at what I need to do. There are certain things that has to be done before you progress to other parts, like right at the very back where you can't reach. It's no good sticking something on the close part of your layout and having to reach over it and probably break it or ruin it. Get into the further parts, that's harder to reach. So what I'm going to do is I'm going to make a list. There's already one thing I'm going to do here, which is just underneath parts, and I've had to take some stuff out, which is namely my engine shed. So where that was sort of here, I've taken it up temporarily so I could put in a hard standing a concrete base, because it didn't look right with it being on just normal track with ballast. So that's going to be redone. So where the back of the track is there up against the back scene that I've put in, I shall be doing the join between the back scene and the track, and the same on that side as well. So I'll take you through a couple of these things I'll be doing. So like I've just said, the area between the track and the back scene is just a rough join at the moment. Just you can see more there. So I should be doing a bit of scenic work on that join all the way along, and putting trees back on that little bit of a hill part, and doing the tops of those buildings over there, just to make it look a bit more neater and better, and finishing it off. I shall be finishing that corner off as much as possible as well, so that's done without having to reach over everything to get to it, and then progressively coming forward. I want to get this area here done. This is Rose Holt, or it will be Rose Holt, and there's going to be sort of a building here which will be like a building and a car park, which will be like a visitor centre for the Heritage Railway, which will be based here, and then the join between the upper and the lower levels all the way along here, and get this area all filled in. Well, this is where the shed at Jumble Lane is, and what I've done, I've actually disconnected it, and at the moment that is just soaking. I've soaked the ballast, so I can take that ballast up, and then what I'm going to do is I'm going to put a hard standing, like a concrete base, there. On this second rail here, I'm just going to bring it this way very, very slightly, because as a loco enters the shed here, it scrapes the side of the building, and I can't move the building over this way because locos and trains, as they come past on the main line, they all hit the side of the shed that way. So there'll be enough room just for the locos to be sat close to each other there. It's only going to come a couple of millimetres this way, so it's not a lot really, it's not a lot of movement, it's just a little bit just to keep it away from the edge of the doorway. And then what I'm going to do is I'm going to put some sockets embedded into the base, and then in the shed there'll be plugs, banana sockets and banana plugs, just so it locates it into position, keeps it there, and also makes electrical connection for the lights inside the shed. Still on the theme of the scenics at the back, there'll be the join between the back scene there and the track, in much the same way. This one will have like a banked area all the way down, and progressively getting steeper as it goes down the hill. So that's one thing I'm going to do, and then I've got to think of what I'm going to be doing here. This is the bus station between the exchange and the courthouse station. I want to do that brick wall again, in a different brick and make the arches smaller, shorter, and then finish off this area of roadway. And then at the back here, still not decided what to do with this area here. This bit of polystyrene is just there just to give me some thoughts, and then think of what I'm going to be actually doing with the corner. Probably just some trees to cover those on the back scene, and just take one view into another really. So that's all to do as well, and that's going to be done before I do too much in front of it, so I can reach there and without getting involved with anything in front. I have got quite a few plans for this area in the wardrobe. Basically all that is going to be out of sight. There's where the tunnel starts there on those tracks. There'll be tunnel portals on these two tracks, and then they all come out here. So where these houses are here and all these bits of rubbish and this 800 is going to be where the scenery comes downhill into a flat area here, and I'm going to have a bit of a board stuck at the front here just to fill it all in, and bring it around, just something to extend the lower part of the scenery. What I will do though is that all of this scenery above the track will be liftable, as in it will lift up. I've got to sort of work out some mechanics just to easily lift it up without having to fiddle about too much. In case of derailments or maintenance on the track, cleaning and what have you, I can just lift up the scene and have access to the tracks and everything below. I've got to relay part of the tracks just to make these bends a little bit less tight, and alter these gradients there, because there's like a bit of a step in the gradient, especially the back one, not so much the front one but the back one, and they do get some derailments. Well, that's it in a nutshell really. I will be doing that throughout the year. It doesn't seem as though there's a lot to do really, but there is quite a lot of work involved in doing all these little bits and pieces, especially as you make it up as you go along. It's all well and good planning it, but then you find out when you're doing it, it's not going to plan, so you end up changing it, or you see something that somebody else has done and you think, I'd like to do that a bit better, or somebody else comes up with an idea or a suggestion and you think, actually that's better than what I was thinking. So everyone should be open towards the suggestions given by others, especially if they've done it themselves. So I should be keeping my ears peeled for any suggestions, and you can leave those in the comments below. I'm always open to some suggestions, so that might help. And in the meantime, I shall be hopefully spending more time playing with the trains, doing some more running videos. I like to do little stories, short stories, make the films interesting. I've still got plans for a certain remake of a film as such. It shouldn't be a remake, it's just a parody of it, but a short parody of that. But yeah, that's what I enjoy doing the most, is these little films, little funny films and whatever. So I should be doing that in the new year as well, as much as I can. But it'd be nice to get some sort of going forward with the layout and making more towards a proper working layout rather than bits of half done bits and unfinished parts. it's getting me nerves now that certain parts are unfinished because it's just not looking right. I start one thing and then just leave and go on to something else because something gives me an idea, but it works at the moment. And then I'm finding out more and more things like the bridge. It went from being a very ostentatious design that was going to be a remake of a certain bridge up in Yorkshire, but then I realised it was going to be a hell of a lot of work and I weren't going to do that, so it ended up just being a normal flat bridge. Now I want to make it part of the scenery, so it's going to be as it is. I was thinking of converting it from a drop-in bridge to a hinged bridge, but I think that's going to be a bit too much. What I want to do is make it into something that will lock into place securely, because at the moment it's easily knocked and taken out of alignment. So what I need to do is just make it so it doesn't come out of alignment. And with temperature changes, it makes a lot because it warps the wood. So I've got to find a way of doing that. And I have been thinking of putting a couple of crossovers on the bridge, just so I could, when I bring locos from the turntable area onto the main running track, it's got to go all the way around before it crosses onto the other rails. It does work on the opposite corner there, it's not too far to go, but I'm just thinking that the bridge might be just a suitable place to put them if they'll fit on, because there's going to be two crossovers going in opposite directions to each other. So watch this space. Well, I think that's a bit it for now. I'll leave you a few running shots of my Class 24, Sutton Class 24, and see if you like it. Thank you. Bye.
We can't leave until boffins from RTC are on board.
Okay, Pete, fancy a brew?